Hello everyone, this is a video in my series Shadowwork, and the energy is changing. I just notice it in my own life, especially last few nights. I would wake up in the middle of the night. I was completely awake. So last night I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sleep. I'll see if I wake up in the middle of the night or not, and I'm just not going to, I'm just going to wake up when the time will be. And this night I slept a very long time. I woke up at like 8:30, which is very late for me. I'm an early bird, so I usually get up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock maybe. And in the summer, usually at 6 o'clock, I wake up at when the lights start, when the sun comes up. I'm an early bird, and it was wonderful. So I'm a little late today, but I really needed the sleep. I've also mentioned in videos that I'm really cleaning up things, and not like cleaning up, more in putting things in order, just clearing up things. I still need to clean up things. I'm hoping that I will get this urge to start cleaning. It's not my favorite hobby, to be very honest. I usually, when I have to vacuum clean every week, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this again and again, and it never ends. So usually I, of course, push myself to do things, but I really need to just clean my house. But right now I'm clearing things. So I actually cleared up my, I did clean my little garden. I have a very little garden, and I needed to, get the weeds out between all the stones on the floor, or stones, it's more like tiles. So it still took a lot of work. I have a very small garden, very happy with it, but it took a lot of work. So I finished that, and yesterday I actually bought some things. I'm looking at what I need. Some pots needs to be replaced, things like that. I actually bought some nice, you can, that works on solar light, with all these lights. I love that. So I still need to hang it up. So if I'm not that present on Telegram, it's because I'm actually doing all kinds of things around the house. I start cleaning up my, or clearing my shed. There are a lot of things. I have a very small shed, but there's so much stuff in there. I also looked at my closet with all my clothes in there. I've been a yo-yoer for a very long time, so I've got all these sizes in there, and I'm always hoping one day I'll fit in that again, and I just needed to order things. So now I know which things I can actually fit in now, and other things are on another shelf. And I already made this agreement with me that in 6 months or a year I haven't touched those clothes. I need to bring it to like a secondhand store or somewhere else. They can maybe do some things with it. Maybe other people will be very happy with it, but I really need to face the fact that most likely the chances I'm not going to fit in that again. Maybe I will, but I'm going to give myself some time. But right now I know which clothes fit me, and it's not like mixed through each other. And I also got a pile of clothes that I'm going to bring to a secondhand store, and I'm just clearing things. So there's a lot going on. I think the energy is very suitable now. There's also an article. It is in Dutch. Unfortunately, I will share it on Telegram, but you could translate it. It's from astrologers Karin and Danique Vergeer. They're from the Netherlands. And they're talking about, in this article, about the full moon and the moon eclipse of the May 5th, 2023. There's also an angel portal. So there is so much going on. And to us here in the Netherlands, it's actually Liberation Day. It's the liberation from the Second World War. That's actually being celebrated that day. And at that day, 3 things are happening. So it's the angel portal, the 555 portal, full moon in Scorpio, and there is a moon eclipse. So it will feel like there is no way out. It's about transformation. Scorpio is a very intense sign, star sign. It's about rebirth. It has to do with Pluto. It's about the death card in the tarot is actually associated with Pluto and with Scorpio. It's about the rebirth, the falling away from things that don't suit you anymore, and this new beginning. And that can be very tough. People can try to avoid it, and it will be a challenge to really deal with fears, emotions, and things that you haven't dealt with. And these energies are very intense, and it's very interesting actually. I'll just see if I can translate a few things here. The moon eclipse is actually a continuation of the sun eclipse from April 30th. It's the beginning of the eclipse season, and a lot of unexpected things can happen. And it has all to do with this transformation, with breaking off things that don't suit you anymore and going in a new direction. The eclipse is usually like a point of changing things. And it also mentions Scorpio. It's for death and rebirth. You can really feel it with bad sleep. Well, it's very suitable for me. A lot of dreams, headaches, dizziness. And it's very, how do you say this? The Scorpio energy is very intense, and that is what I'm sensing. I also, especially with clearing, I feel this urge to just do it, and I just dive in. And then 3 hours later, I'm like, oh, I've done a lot of things, but it's like very intense. It's almost like you can't get away from it. And I think it is showing what we're doing from the inside, and it's working its way, of course, in the outside as well. Because you clear things, you're also working on clearing things inside of yourself. A lot of things are coming up now. And I already mentioned in my other video from Shadowwork about these negativities that come out now in people, and people cannot suppress them anymore. It's time to deal with them, or people get dragged down by them. So you can see people being more aggressive, negative, attacking other people. It's so, especially people that just don't want to work with that. They start projecting things outside of themselves, or it turns inward, and people can get depressed, desperate, feeling like they're victims, like it's not going to work out. So a lot of things are coming out now, and you can just see it around you. It's a very intense period that we are in, but it is here to show us things. It's an opportunity we can take to heal things, and it's so important that we do our shadow work, that we do our light work. But, some people just don't want to deal with it, so they start projecting things outside. They don't understand what's going on. But this is a very intense period right now. So it's a very interesting article, and I'm sure there are English articles about this as well. This is a very interesting time that we are in now, and the energy is very intense. If I just look at my own life, and the intensity where I'm just clearing things, and a lot of things come up inside of myself as well, and I deal with it. I try to embrace everything. It's not always comfortable, not at all, and sometimes I don't want to. I'm very honest. I've mentioned this before. I'm like, oh no, not again. It's necessary to heal it on a very, very deep level. Now, the thing I wanted to take a look in this video is something I'm really interested in, because I'm kind of, seeing things as, is this really, are we really waiting this long because we have to wait for everyone to be aboard? And I mean, on board, that we have to wait for entire humanity to really wake up and, start maybe working on their shadow work and opening up? Or is this an individual process? To me, it feels like an individual process, and that we are actually watching all kinds of timelines combined right now, and it is going to separate, and it will be decided on your frequency where you're going to end up. That is something, that's how I see things and feel things, but I really wanted to see what the cards would tell me. Is this an individual process? Or is this a process, a collective process for humanity? And really, we're waiting on the people to all get aboard. And that's why there is so much frustration, because not everyone is on board. And I truly believe there will be people that will not wake up at all and won't see it and will not work on themselves. And It maybe has to do with their soul contracts, or maybe it's just, at that moment in time not possible to look at it that way. It's a decision they've made with their conscious or unconsciously. So I really was interested, is this an individual process? And in that case, we don't have to worry about other people, not getting it, or is this really a collective process? And that's why we have this delay and we're kind of waiting for everyone to be on board. And I thought it was very interesting. The cards I got, the first card is the Nine of Swords. The central card is the Six of Cups. Card in the past is the Nine of Pentacles. Underneath the Six of Cups we have the Devil card. Then for the kind of the future, although it will say more about this process, is the Ten of Swords and the Page of Cups. And I actually specifically asked the cards because I didn't really get a complete answer, at least not like, well, what is this? Is this an individual process? And then I got this card, the Six of Wands, or is this a process for humanity itself? And that is the Knight of Cups. And this is, to me, tells me this is an individual process, but it is an opportunity for entire humanity to step in. Because if people follow this individual path and really step into their power, other people will be affected as well, and they can also change if they want to. So this is to me, and of course this is my interpretation, this is how I view the cards, and of course this is how I see things. But I thought it was interesting that the cards are actually, in a way, kind of confirming it for me, although you can see if it resonates with you or not. But this is how I see things. This is an individual process, especially with these cards. You see just one person on the card. There were no cards like the Four of Wands or the Three of Pentacles, with multiple people, or, the Ten of Pentacles. You have a card with more people than one on it, or let's say a bigger group. We do, of course, have the Devil card and, of course, the Six of Cups with two people on them. But this is more of an individual process card. If you just look at the card, this is really about not giving away your power. And the Six of Cups has to do with your inner child and with things you may still carry from the past. So this, to me, tells me this is an individual process. So we don't have to worry, and I can understand people are worried about that because there are people around them not waking up, and they have this feeling like, oh, we're waiting for them. They need to wake up because otherwise we won't be able to continue. And that people, if they don't deal with their shadow work, they are delaying us. And if they keep up this, I can fully understand that. But that's not how I see it. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own path, the path you started. And it's very important that we focus on our own path, because that the frequency will decide where you're headed. And I think that right now we have still a lot of timelines coming together. I think it will fall apart ultimately, and we all go to our own, what our frequency will be. And I think that's very important to understand it that way. So you don't have to focus on things outside of yourself. And I think that's also in this card reading, that we shouldn't give away our power like, well, if they don't do this or if they don't do that, we're not going to get there, because then you also are creating that. So if you fully understand, it's up to your personal frequency. This is an individual process we all have to make, and we all have to decide if we want to make that process, if we want to start that process or not. Don't give away your power to other people. Don't be afraid if other people don't wake up or just don't see it that way, or refuse to turn inward and work on their shadow work. Work on it yourself. Focus on yourself. That is the most important part. And then there will be an opportunity for other people, because we are all connected. And if you're really working with your energy, the stronger you'll get, the more powerful you are in a way. And it will affect people, but it's up to them to decide whether they want to open themselves up for that as well or not. That will be a decision we all have to make. That's the free will. We all have to make that decision if we want to follow that path or not. And maybe other people with soul contracts still have to, choose a different frequency because they still want to learn from that. We shouldn't, say, oh, well, why wouldn't you choose this new earth, new world? Why would you choose another frequency? That's all up to soul contracts, what people want to learn. You can't see that from the outside. So don't be afraid of that as well. But understand this is an individual process. This has to do with free will. Respect the free will of other people as well. But don't be afraid that they are going to get in your way, or that you won't be able to enter this new earth or this new world because they are not understanding it. Focus on yourself. Don't give away your power, because then you are giving away your power to these other people. And it's all about your own process. I can feel it myself if I see where I'm at now or 3-4 years ago. My life has changed. It's become easier. I feel better. And I can also see people around me that they are worse off than before, and that they won't face certain things, and you can see it in their lives. It's getting tougher for them, harder for them, and ultimately that is a choice. If they've made it unconsciously or consciously, doesn't really matter. If people don't work with their shadow work or with light work, depending on how you see things, if they don't want to deal with that, they will see it reflected in their own life. So if you just focus on yourself, on your own path, not worry about people around you, or, groups of people that just don't get it, or that you're afraid you're going to be dragged into some awful world, that is not possible. It's about your own frequency. And you'll notice the stronger you are, that your life will become easier. And that way you don't have to worry about that. You can just let it go. But it's very important to really make decisions. This is the 10 of Swords again. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was in my month reading or in my week reading for this week, but very important to cut things out. I think it was my weekly energy for this week. Things, if they don't fit anymore, just get them out of the way, just cut them through, especially with this energy of Scorpio. If they don't fit with you anymore, it's an opportunity for you to connect with your intuition, your emotion. That's what this entire process is about. Letting go. This is, of course, a bigger process than just this week, but letting go of things that don't fit you anymore, that need to leave certain situations, certain people. Step into your own power without being, connected to people that just don't fit with you anymore. Then you can give an opportunity to other people to change their ways. That's the beauty of this. So this is an individual path, but you are also opening up the path for other people, for humanity to change. And as you are, working with your energies, you are way stronger than people that are not working with their energies, in a way that you can affect people much more, and your energy will be more powerful because you'll be creating your own life. People will see that it's an opportunity for them, for humanity, to grow and to change, and to make that decision as well. But it's up to each and every one of us to make that decision. So this, to me, feels like this is an individual path. We all have to make those choices for ourselves, which fits with free will, because if you really look at free will, we all have free will. So if we are waiting, if it was the case that this, as humanity, we would make this step, we would have to wait on other people. And then what is your free will then? Because then you don't really have free will in a way. Then you have to wait for other people to wake up and to become conscious. So I don't think that's the way. I think it also, why is it taking so long? And this is just how I see things. If I look at my own life and what I'm working with, is that there's still things that need to be looked at. And this time is also for us to heal, to really step into our power. There are still things I need to work with, and things that come up and that I thought that I already you know, dealt with, and I still need to heal deeper at a deeper level. So this time is not just for other people to wake up, but it's also for us to even go deeper and heal on a deeper level, because everything needs to be looked at, everything in ourselves. And you can just see if your life is exactly as you want it to be and you're very happy, obviously you've already done the work in that way. You know, if that's the case, you can just enjoy your life and start creating what you truly want. But if I just look at myself, I still have to things to clear up. So even if you are consciously already working with your energy, I can just from my own perspective still need time. So because it's, you know, people are waiting. Why is it taking so long? What's going on? It could be that this is the time given to us, to also the people that are already working through these processes, to heal them. So we are ready to really enter this new beautiful earth that's going to be, you know, created from this beautiful new energy. And so that we have the chance to really step into our power before that happens, obviously. So I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see another video.